Hi there. I'm an explosive barrel, and I like to blow up. Oh hey, I got my first comment. Let's see what it says. Nice. Well, here we are, folks. We finally made it to a rough one. Death skid marks. It's bittersweet because I get to satisfy my rage-filled purpose. But is it worth it? Oh, you better believe it. Games like these are like getting a hand job from a demon. Sure, you got your rocks off, but how raw are you after the fact? All jokes aside, Death Skid Marks was developed and published by Studio Whiskey Tango in 2014 by 2 people, and I have to admit that's pretty impressive. Alas, once again, the developer doesn't have a Wikipedia page. The problem I'm facing here is that while I do find the development of the game impressive, I'm gonna go in a little hard on the game itself. Hell, I see the mostly positive reviews and the massive amount of time dedicated players have dumped into the game. This is just the opinion of one Lovecraftian horror. Feel free to leave me a comment telling me how stupid I am. I promise you won't hurt my feelings. And besides,
your hate fuels me.
You play as Mark Skid, a man on a mission to travel across the apocalyptic road warrior-style wasteland to see your favorite band. Cleverly, the band name actually serves as the difficulty selection screen. After you make your choice, you hit the road. You start out with only the ram mechanic, where you can defeat drivers by pushing them into the side walls of the road, slowly reducing the strength of their car until the vehicle is destroyed. This also sacrifices the durability of your own vehicle, and you have to watch out for enemy passengers who sport melee weapons and can attack your car when you get too close. In fairness, it's not a bad mechanic. On the obverse, other enemies may have guns and you need to avoid their fire while attacking their car, or you need to eliminate them as priority targets. You can't attack with melee or ranged as the driver, but luckily for you, you can pick up passengers with different stats to act as your offensive team. Death Skid Marks, to its credit, nails the grindhouse feeling. Everything is gritty, dirty, and gory in the right ways. You start the game committed to not being committed, if that makes any sense. It's a game that writes a check for quick thrills, and you can take it to the bank. Problem is, it's one of those sad banks where the tellers look like chuds. Every few car battles, you have the option to visit a rest stop, which is a shop area. You have the snack bar, which is where you pick up health and passengers. There's a jobs area where you can pick up your points modifiers, which serve as your currency. The arms dealer has your melee and ranged weapons. The garage offers your repairs and vehicle upgrades. The drug dealer offers character upgrades, and Learny Mart provides you with utility items, character modifiers, and rarely tickets to the concert. The issue here is that all of this is RNG. If you just got out of a hard boss battle, maybe the garage isn't available, so
you might just be fucked.
The same goes for bosses themselves. You can't tell, but I am absolutely stacked with upgrades here, and regardless, I get
skull fucked
by a literal clown car. Here's the real question. Do you like edgelord humor? Boy oh boy, Death Skid Marks is the game for you. It comes in soft with the parody humor. You've got references galore. Knight Rider, Chuck Norris from Lone Wolf McQuade, Terminator, and so on. But before I go any further, I've got to mention the weirdest and best reference in the game, and then I have to pick it apart. Like an asshole. This character is a reference to the movie Falling Down. It's a good movie. They keep Michael Douglas movies on repeat in hell, and Kirk Douglas has to watch them over and over again. If you don't want to know why old Spartacus is in hell, I'd avoid Googling him plus the word allegation. Anyway, Falling Down is great, but the movie starts with the character abandoning his car in a fit of frustration. He spends the movie walking around. The only time a fucking car crashes is during a drive-by when he is on foot. Okay, I'm chilling out. It's fine. Also, why no parody of Rutger Hauer from The Hitcher? That is easy, low-hanging fruit. But I want to get back to the humor in Death Skid Marks. Some of it is very dated. Westboro Baptist memes were out of fashion long before 2014. And I get that they're trying to make it more satisfying to kill the enemies. That's why most of the time you're fighting Nazis, Confederate flag-adorned assholes, road rage cops, and insane furries. Still, maybe avoid using certain terms that push the humor into pizza cutter territory. Listen, you do you, but if I'm gonna ashamedly laugh at dated edgy shit, I'm gonna mainline Postal into my barrel hole long before I hit up death skid marks. And don't worry, Postal, I see you coming in hot with those dead memes, baby. Luckily for me and for you, I'm figuring out this audio bullshit, and I owe a lot of that to death skid marks. I've danced around with clip volume for a lot of this video or outright cut it because this game is a noise factory. If you play this game with headphones, prepare for your ears to ring because the absolute fucking cacophony of car battles is borderline impressive. On top of that, the shop music, which is just one track, will worm into your goddamn brain after your second or third multi-hour session. Now I do have to immediately counter myself. The most important question is, how does Death Skid Marks play? The answer is pretty goddamn good. You feel like you're really smashing into an enemy when you hit them. Pushing a car into the sidewalls feels substantial and gives a real sense of struggle, especially when each car has a full set of passengers armed with weapons, and part of that does come from the sound of grinding metal. I have to put this one on me, but I'm not a huge fan of the guns in Death Skid Marks. The sound design is great and adds to the chaos of battle. I think the damage is passable, especially if you can get your hands on a high-tier firearm. But when it comes down to preference, I just happen to like melee more than guns. Personally, I think melee deals higher damage, and there's an element of strategy when it comes to avoiding enemy passengers with melee while purposefully positioning your passengers to deal maximum damage to cars and enemies. Plus, there's nothing oh so sweet as
Cooking your adversaries with a blowtorch.
You want to know the best thing about Death Skid Marks? It's fucking addicting. I'm not really of a rogue-like mentality. Procedural generation usually infuriates me for the most part, but the game has a siren song of violence and unlockables. Each time I get trounced by an RNG bullshit boss there's no way I can beat, I think, fuck it, that's it. And then the next time I look at the footage, I'm pulled back in by the idea that the next unlockable car will get me to that goddamn concert. Death Skid Marks treats you like a sub in a toxic relationship. It spits on your chest and tells you to go at it harder, and you will come back for more, you filthy scum. Does Death Skid Marks piss me off? Without a doubt. But for a game from 2014 to kick my ass so hard almost 8 years after its release, how could I not give it props? I don't love Death Skid Marks. I wanna hate fuck it and then cuddle after. Final verdict? I see no reason you shouldn't give it a try. It's got quirks, but it's definitely worth it if you're looking for a crude-humored grindhouse roguelike. If you want to worship at the altar of the barrel, please like, subscribe,
And don't forget to hit that bell.